You all set? I'm going to call this meeting to order. It's a special meeting of the Dayton Stormwater Committee. This is also a remote participation Zoom meeting. It's a public meeting being video and audio recorded for cable broadcast and internet hosting on www.dayton-ma.gov and YouTube. So Zoom meeting number 870-4573-5600. Zoom meeting password 938146. Call-in number 929-205-6099. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Attendance roll call. Mr. Kelly.
Here.
Mr. Ferry.
Here.
Mr. Rhines.
Present.
Mr. Aguirre.
Here.
Mr. Burnett.
Here.
Nancy Goulart here. Also present, Lisa Caldonia.
Here.
Okay, on Zoom, I see Dave Cowan. Who else is there, please?
This is Chris Ryan with Meridian Associates.
Is, we don't know if Mike's gonna zoom in.
Here.
Okay, well, if you see anybody else,
Yep, no.
let us know. The purpose of this special meeting is to make a decision relative to the Clearway Energy proposed solar farms at 1420 and 1522 William Street. I believe what we're gonna have to do is first take a vote to close the public hearing because the proponents don't wish to continue to another meeting. And then we're gonna have to vote a decision on this. So, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
Well, Madam Chair, before we do, I just want to reiterate, Dave, I know we talked the other day about whether or not the hearing should be open or closed, and I'm still advising you now, I advised you then that I think you should leave the public hearing open until after you're done with the planning board in case they want any changes. We have other projects in town where they submitted one set of plans to the building department, a different set of plans to stormwater, a different set to the planning board, and they got under construction, and we found out that it was a problem, and now they're all dead in the water while we wait and figure this out. It's gonna take over a month to sort it out. So I just wanna make it clear that if the planning board revises the plan, you may have to come back and reopen the public hearing and notify the abutters for this committee. So I just want you to state that you are absolutely, you want this hearing closed, you do not want to continue.
Yeah, well, thank you, Todd, for the opportunity on that. And also thanks to the committee for being willing to have a special meeting for this. We really appreciate that. Yeah, it's appreciate the point there, Todd, and I guess we sort of have two views on it. One is we've actually been requested or directed perhaps by the planning board administrative contact that we need to have Concom and stormwater approval in hand in order to go to the planning board. So we've been focused on that kind of stepwise approach, but have always recognized that planning board would be last. So we're going on that. And then secondly, we have been through quite a lot of review technically and, on a number of issues and cleaned up a lot of detail. So I guess we're feeling pretty thoroughly reviewed at this point. So yes, definitively, we would like to proceed and close the hearing and welcome your vote on the permit.
Then I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? I would just reiterate that once the plan is reviewed by the planning board, it will be looked at again by the Stormwater Committee. And if the Stormwater Committee feels that it needs to be reviewed again, we will expect you to be in touch with us again.
Understand.
Any other,
Madam Chair,
Mr. Rhines?
if I may, Mr. Khan, I just want to impress upon you, just as Mr. Pilling had stated earlier, is that we do not want to run into a situation where you come in with a revised set of plans looking for possibly a minor or major change on those plans. And what would happen is that I personally cannot make a decision for a board of 5 members. We have to vote in order to have this done. And if that does happen, that again is going to be notified the abutters, public hearing, it's going to set you back a month. So I want you to keep in mind what Mr. Pilling stated, that you may be better off keeping this public hearing open,
It's too late now. I mean, they asked for it to be closed, so.
but we're in the discussion phase of we voted to open or close. So I know that you've requested to close, and I understand your point behind this, but again, this is just my own feelings and recommendation. I would feel it would be best to leave this process as open, just in case you do have to, go through a minor or a major modification on that project. Yes.
Madam Chair?
Excuse me, Mr. Cowan, did you wish to comment?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of a pickle, I guess, because we've also been advised from another board that we should complete the stormwater permit before coming to the planning board. So we're sort of, we're getting a similar direction from each committee, that the other one be given precedent and come to them last.
Well, that would be under the assumption there are no changes in the plans. But if there, only you can answer that question. If there are changes in the plan and you go to the planning board as the last board you're going to see, if whatever is proposed in those plans has a significant effect or would require Concom review again or stormwater review again, that's what you're being told by people here, all right? I don't know what's in your plans, and that's something that quite frankly, the planning board is gonna have to look at, and then we're gonna have to make a decision. We're only trying to caution you, because obviously, I know that everyone's time is important, but again, in the normal course of events, yeah, go to Concom, you gotta be with stormwater, so forth, so on. But the fact that you have to return to planning, and it sounds like there is some kind of change in the plans, so we just want it clear where everyone's coming from, that if the planning board says this needs to have further review by Concom or stormwater, or when either of those committees find out what the proposed revisions to the plans are, they may say to you, we need to meet with you to talk about this. So we just want everyone to understand, if the vote here today is to close the hearing and to approve the project as submitted to us, that means as the plans stand that we have seen, not any changes that may be made, all right?
Yeah, no, understood.
Further discussion? Mrs. Caldoni, did you want to say something?
I just, when Tim was speaking, I just wanted
Would
to.
you take your mask off?
Yeah, when Tim was speaking, I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that Tim's the chairman of the planning board. I know it's been a while since you guys have been before.
Yeah, we've gathered indirectly that nice to meet you. But that there's representation on this committee from the planning board. And it is a good opportunity to air these, these questions. I'm still, I hear the advice coming from the committee here loud and clear, but it seems I'm given a choice as to which committee's advice to heed. because we've been also given clear direction from Ms. Easterday that they're not prepared to accept our submittal until we have both Concom and Stormwater approved.
Correct.
Right, so we have a plan set that's the same plan set this committee's reviewed, and from the Concom's perspective, I think it's the same plan set as well. We're ready to submit that to the planning board for their review. So there's no changes post Stormwater or Concom, but it has been some months since the planning board has seen the plan. So specifically those changes that the Stormwater Committee and Concom requested have been made, and that's what we're asking the planning board to look at this point. Only the changes that these two committees have requested of the project.
Correct, Mr. Collins, thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like our hand is sort of being forced. We need to know what the planning board has to say, but in order to do that, we have to finish here today, knowing full well that we may end up seeing you again. So.
That's correct. That's correct. Who is this?
This is Clearway. This is.
Who's the guy speaking? That is Mr. Ryan, Mr. Chris Ryan, am I correct? Is that Mr. Ryan?
Yes, I'm with Christopher Ryan. I'm with Meridian Associates. We are the current civil engineers for the project.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Mr. Ferry?
Yeah, I don't have, all the changes that we made, that's what's going to be presented to the plan board moving forward.
Yeah.
Presumably that's the plan that we're going to work with. Yeah.
Well, Stormwater Committee and Conservation Commission, any comments or things that we want to change? That's what's supposed to go to planning now.
Good. It's just we don't see that copy that's being presented.
No,
Well, they haven't even filed it at the planning board yet, so, because when they file with the planning board, we can confirm that it's the plan we have. Same thing with the building department, we gotta make sure when they file with the building department, it's the same plan that we have.
Most of
Right, Mr. Collins, Mr. Ryan, we're just trying to make sure that everyone's on the same page, and we're looking out also for your best interest as well as the town of Dyke's.
Understood.
Yeah. Yep.
any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote, and this is to close the hearing on Clearway. Excuse me, on the future projects up on William Street, 1420 and 1522. Mr. Pelling,
Aye.
Mr. Ferry,
Aye.
Mr. Ryan.
Aye.
Mr. Agia.
Aye.
Mr. Burnett.
Aye.
And Mr. Goulart, aye. The hearing is closed. I will now entertain a motion to approve the permits, the two permits, with the changes that we voted during the discussion at the meeting last month. And just to give you a quick reminder. This is what I also presented at the Conservation Commission meeting when I was there last time. Quickly, these conditions are: Conservation Commission order of conditions will be recorded prior to pre-construction meeting and proof of recording submitted to the Stormwater Committee. Prior to the pre-construction meeting, provide a stormwater pollution prevention plan, SWIP. Pre-construction meeting with the engineer, site contractor, and Dayton stormwater and conservation agents prior to tree cutting and excavation. Install and maintain soil siltation control, including maintenance of the access drive onto William Street. Utilize dust control measures on the access drive as needed. Minimum of daily applications. Stormwater agent will witness test pits at the locations of the drainage basins for soil classification and water table prior to construction of basins. If water table is within 2 feet of the bottom of any basin, a redesign of groundwater mounding calculations will be necessary. Any redesign or calculations must be submitted prior to installation of any solar array infrastructure. The drainage basin shall be roughed in and erosion control installed prior to the installation of panel infrastructure. Under stormwater maintenance, submittal of an operation and maintenance plan, O&M, for the entire drainage system submittal of a long-term pollution prevention plan, LTPPP, for the entire drainage system. Annual reports forwarded to the town stormwater committee as part of the O&M and the LTPPP. Establish and maintain a stormwater maintenance bond in the amount of $10,000. That's per site for yearly maintenance of the access drive and drainage basins if not satisfactorily completed by the owner. The bonds, the two of them, must be established and submitted prior to grid connection. Drainage and access road as-built plans must be submitted and approved prior to final electrical sign-off and the issuance of certificate of compliance by the building commissioner. To ensure public safety, police details will be determined with the police chief or his representative and the project manager. The details will be scheduled at a minimum of 4 hours. If the chief visits the site and determines a detail is necessary for public safety, work will stop immediately until the detail arrives in accordance with the police chief's letter dated July 24th, 2021. And the final one is fuel storage tanks are allowed only with appropriate permits. So that's everything I have here.
Yeah, just one clarification thing. I know it was in here multiple times as access road. Should it be access road or access drive?
Access drive, because when we started this, I asked that it change to drive so that we wouldn't get,
Thought that was my mistake, so. We can correct that.
okay. Okay, so I need a motion for approval of this with for approval to issue these two permits. The conditions are the same on both permits.
Can I go out, if I may? I might have missed it, if I did, I apologize up front. Was there anything in there, in the conditions about the drainage being roughed in prior to? I don't have them. Oh. No, I tried to follow along as best I could. Is there nothing in there?
Yeah, number
Oh,
7.
that's what happened. All right, so it's still there.
Yeah.
Two sheet ones, no sheet twos.
The drainage basin shall be roughed in and erosion control installed prior to the installation of canal infrastructure.
I just missed that, I'm sorry.
Well, I went through it really fast, so.
I know, I was trying to follow along, but, okay, as long as it's there, that's all, thank you.
So I'll make a motion to accept them as corrected.
Second.
Wait a minute, to accept,
We're going to correct that one word.
4 times.
we have a motion in a second to correct, to change the term from road, access road to access drive. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, Mr. Tilly.
Aye.
Mr. Perry.
Aye.
Mr. Ryan.
Aye.
Mr. Agia.
Aye.
Mr. Purnett.
Aye.
Nancy Goulet, aye. Who seconded that motion?
Mr. Ryan.
So the next thing is to,
So thank you very much. The stormwater permit, what'll happen is there'll be a pre-construction meeting and that's when it'll be handed to you so that it has to be kept on site at all times. And it'll be signed at that point in time that the pre-construction meeting was completed. So we'll let the planning board know that it's been completed over here.
okay,
Very Thank you.
don't leave, guys. All we did was correct the wording.
Right.
Correct.
All right, so I'm gonna ask for 2 separate votes. I'm looking for a motion to approve the stormwater permit for Dayton project 10-20-2340-KW-1420.
So moved.
Hold on, so what was your motion then, Tom, when you had made the motion before? Just to change the
Change the
word.
word.
Correct the word.
Sorry, I'm a little behind, hold on.
And then we're going to vote on 2 separate
Two
permits.
separate.
Yeah,
I thought the motions we were doing was the 2 permits, so.
no, it was just to correct the wording. because at the previous meeting, we approved the conditions, and now that I got the draft minutes and I saw that, the word road used, it reminded me, we'd asked that we call it the drive. We have a motion for a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the number I just read. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. Mr. Pilling.
Aye.
Mr. Ferry.
Aye.
Mr. Rhines.
Aye.
Mr. Agia.
Aye.
Mr. Burnett.
Aye.
Mrs. Goulart, aye.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move that the Stormwater Committee approve the permit for A&M Realty Trust located at 1522 William Street, Dayton, Mass. 02715, Dayton, project number 11-20-2070 KW-1522.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, Mr. Pilling.
Aye.
Mr. Ferry.
Aye.
Mr. Rhines.
Aye.
Mr. Agia.
Aye.
Mr. Burnett.
Aye.
Mrs. Goulart, aye. I'm just gonna make a friendly amendment. When this is written, I read that project number, but it should contain the same language that Mr. Ryan used mentioning A&M Realty, just so that we, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's not the name, there's two different names involved. They're not both A&M Realty. One of them's A&M Realty and one of them is Ken and Diane Rujo.
I agree. Let me-
So which one is which?
Hang on, I'll bring up the official document from the
Okay.
town of Dayton. Boy, we really go to hell without Ross, don't we?
I cannot do her job.
I'm taking notes as best I can, so.
Yeah, I am too.
My copy says both A&M.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what's not correct. There's gotta be two different names.
The internet's not working without Ross.
One's a realty trust, and I think the other one is in the name of Ken and Darlene Rujo.
So 1522, according to the assessment records, is Kenneth and Darlene Arujo. And 1420 Williams is A&M Realty Trust.
Okay.
You are correct, Chairman.
So, Madam Chair, I will amend my motion to read that this certifies that Ken and Darlene Arujo Trust located at 1522 William Street, Dayton, Mass. 02715, Dayton, project number 11-20-2070 KW-1522 be approved by the committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is Ken and Darlene Arujo listed as a trust, or are they listed as individuals?
No, it's individual. Did you say trust?
Strike the word trust. Madam
Okay.
Chair.
Yeah, no, it's individuals. There's no trust.
Thanks.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to correct the name of the project at 1522 William Street. So the name on the permit will be Kenneth and Darlene Arujo. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, and this is the vote on the correction or the amendment to the first motion that Mr. Rhines made. Mr. Pilling.
Aye.
Mr. Ferry.
Aye.
Mr. Rhines.
Aye.
Mr. Agia.
Aye.
Mr. Burnett.
Aye.
Mrs. Goulart, aye.
What was the name?
Darlene, yes. Darlene. Is there any public input? Is there any other business or anything that needs to be brought up? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Mr. Carroll and Mr. Ryan, thank you very much. We hope you guys have a wonderful Labor Day. And I know that I look forward to working with you both and receiving any information the planning board needs to receive between now and then. And, I look forward to seeing you guys on the pre-construction meeting.
Okay, I'm gonna
Yes.
call the vote, on the vote to adjourn. Mr. Pilling.
Aye.
Mr. Ferry.
Aye.
Mr. Ryan.
Aye.
Mr. Agia.
Aye.
Mr. Burnett.
Aye.
Mrs. Fulott, aye. 156. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.